you became a direct advisor to the President of the United States, John F. Kennedy.
I was a bodyguard for his 2 children. I called him Joe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he got killed in an airplane though. But anyhow,
So that would have been...
so anyhow, I was according to this thing here, I'll show you that. But I was working for the Naval Training Center there for making books on how to be a radarman 3 and 2, and then I had a guy. I had to write it out and everything. Then I had a professor that re-corrected my
English.
He practically rewrote the whole thing, you know.
Okay.
Because I didn't have any education. And the president said, "You don't have any education, son. I don't know what I want to do with you." He says, "I'm going to tell you what. You're going to go for a walk with me, and I'll take you over to that college and we'll get you some kind of education." So I went over there with him, and then we got the education started. And I had my family there, and I was taking education
Getting classes.
practice every night till all of a sudden Bay of Pigs War started.
Yeah.
And then he said, "We're going to have to stop doing that, and we're going to have to put you back to work here in this place over here." I said, "What place?" And he said, "I'll show it to you." And he says, "It's a secret. Don't talk about it. Don't tell nobody about it. But it's a big building that we're going to use because our building that we had as a war office is being remodeled, and we caught this war in between it remodeling." So he said, "Here's what we're going to do." And all of them windows was sailors nominated to take care of that window, and that window. And it was plastic on the windows that you can write on, and then you can scratch it off, write on and scratch it off. You know that?
Kind of like a whiteboard, I guess.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And then you're going up there, Alvin, you're going to sit up at this table, and you're going to have 26 phones that you're going to have to answer.
Whoa.
There's a whole bunch of them. And what they had, each one of them had a phone going to a place in the United States, not to any phone company or nothing else. I don't know how it worked.
Okay.
But anyhow, every place, those people, even if they see a turtle or anything like that coming ashore, they got to be telling us about it. So we have that guy write it on the board, on the board. So we're going real good and taking care of everything. We even found the FBI had to go get 4 or 5 Cubans that got raps or something that come to the United States, and they just said they didn't want nobody's names or nothing like that told about it. So don't you tell nobody, don't you say anything about it. This is completely secret. So I said, "Well, it's really, really secret." But then all of a sudden, a door opened up. And here comes the Vice President, Johnson, with his old hat on right here. He come in there, and he had about 8 or 9 people from foreign countries. And he was up there explaining how this happens, how this works. And so the president told me, he says, "Get that guy out of here, get him out of here, now." I said, "Well, how can I do it?" And I said, "I'll go down there." And he says, "No, you're not going to leave that. Who's going to take your phone call?" I said, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what to do." And I looked over and I saw a piece of chalk. I reached over, I picked that piece of chalk up. And I knocked a piece of it off, and I says, I watched him walking like that, and he was walking on the wires, and there was a light down there, but it was dark up here where I am, and all that places down there. So I took it and I threw it like that, just to down, hit his toe, and then he would look down there and see where it is, and then he'd look back this way, and I could say, come here. But all of these people, I told him to tell them on the phone, he would never listen to them.
Right.
And they would knock on that thing and say,
Yeah, because Kennedy didn't want him showing people. This
he
war
didn't
room.
do anything. So he had them people with him. So anyhow, finally, President says, Alvin, you got to do something. I don't know what you have to do, but do something. So I took that big piece of chalk and I went, what? I knocked that guy's hat off.
Well, how did he take to that?
So he come up there, and I mean, tell you, I didn't know any cuss words worse than those.
And you were a
Cussed
sailor.
me and cussed me and cussed me and tell me everything. And I'm telling you, it was terrible. So he said also, just listen to me. The president didn't hear what he said because some papers he had fell on the floor. And he was down on his hands and knees trying to get those things off of the floor. Finally, he raised up, and the president says, well, get it over with. So he said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alvin, tomorrow you be ready to go someplace. I am going to send somebody to pick you up. I know where your house is. I know the number. I know how to get you. So everything's all right, I thought.
But that was the end of your
Yeah,
time.
next morning, beep, beep.